Good evening, guys. Thank you so much for connecting to today's class. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you so
Thank
much for
you. Good
being
evening.
super punctual. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. Now,
Good
guys,
evening,
we are
teacher.
going to start. Good evening. Thank you so much for connecting. I'm super happy to see you. So let me go with the first question over here.
Good
So
evening.
for this, good evening, good evening. Let me ask you, how much I will change how many.
Good evening.
Good evening. How many cups of tea do you drink
Coffee.
every day? Now, this is my question. Everybody repeat this. How many cup of coffees do you drink every day?
How many cup of coffee do you drink every day?
Coffee.
How
That's
many cup
correct.
of coffee do you drink every day?
Every day.
For example, in my personal case, I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning or in the afternoon. It can be, but I only drink 1 cup of coffee. So in my personal case, what about you? Tell me, how many cups of coffee do you drink every day? You got 30 seconds, write your sentence on your notebook and tell me how many cups of coffee do you drink? 30 seconds. Tell me how many cups of coffee do you drink? Okay, let me check your answers. And let me go with this. Gladys Margarita, tell me, how many cups of coffee do you drink every day?
I drink only 1 cup of coffee every day in the morning.
Cool, thank you. What about you, Aidan Fernandez? How many cups of coffee every day?
I drink 3 cup of coffee in the morning, afternoon, evening.
At night. Good. Thank you so much. What about you, Anna Cecilia? How many cups of coffee do you drink every day?
I drink a cup of coffee in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, all
At
day.
night. Cool, that's great. What about you, Norbia Rodriguez? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
Okay. I drink coffees one a day.
Okay. Okay, you drink only one? Thank you. What about you, Kaylee? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink only 1 cup of coffee in the night.
Okay, at night. In the night, no, at night.
And
Thank you. What about you? Tell me, how many cups of coffee do you drink, Edith Gabriela?
good evening. And
Good evening.
I don't drink coffee because I don't like it.
You don't like coffee? Interesting. Cool. What about you, Sylvia Noemi? Tell me, how many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink 3 cups of coffee in the morning, in the afternoon, at night.
Thank you. Good job. What about you, Mirna Calderon? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning and 1 cup of coffee in the afternoon.
Cool. That's good. Thank you so much. What about you, Mirna Vanessa? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
Eh, in the coffee is delicious. I drink two cup, perdón, sí, 2 cup of
Yes. Okay.
coffee in the morning, in the evening.
Cool. Thank you. What about you, Douglas? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink 2 coffees in the morning and the evening.
In the evening. Cool. What about you, Amber? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning only.
Cool. What about you, Georgina? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning.
Thank you. What about you, Enrique Edgardo? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink 1 coffee in the morning and sometimes 1 coffee at night.
Cool. Thank you. What about you, Esau Wilfredo? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I like coffee. I drink 3 to 4 cups a day.
Cool. That's good. What
A
about
day.
you, Rosidalia? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning and 1 cup coffee after afternoon.
Cool. That's great. What about you, Fatima Lucia? How many cups of coffee do you drink?
I drink 2 cup of the coffee in the morning and in the afternoon.
Cool. Pamela Jasmine, how many cups of coffee do you drink?
I only drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning. That's all.
1 cup of coffee. Okay. What about you, Sandra Juliet? How many cups of coffee do you drink? Sandra? No, Sandra over there. Okay, cool. Thank you so much then for answering, guys. You are doing good. You are doing nice. Appreciate a lot. And thank you so much for connecting on time to the class. Now, let me share with you the book. So in the previous class, guys, we were talking about countable and non-countable nouns. We were talking about some and any. So in this case, guys, we are going to continue with the practice about countable and non-countable nouns. So according to the food that we have over here in the previous page, we are going to divide the food into countable and non-countable nouns. For example, let me ask you, the blueberries are countable or uncountables? Blueberries, countable or uncountables?
Countable.
Countables. What about the oil, countable or uncountables?
Countable.
No countable.
Countable.
Uncountable. So in that case, the oil is uncountable. Let me share with you the picture. So you can start dividing the food into countable and uncountable nouns. Give me one moment. Let me go with this. And let me take the screenshot over here. So there you have. So right now, divide the food into countable or uncountable nouns. Pues, let's go to the breakout rooms, practice with your classmates, and get ready to practice right now. Okay, guys, thank you so much for practicing. Thank you so much for dividing the food into countable and non-countable nouns. So let's start checking over here. So tell me, what are the uncountable food?
Contables, apples,
Rice.
Rice.
No,
Bananas,
bananas,
no,
lemons,
Okay,
lettuce,
let's put it in
orange,
order. Let's put it in order. Let's put it in order. Let me give you one more. Okay, now first we are going to talk about the uncountable because they are little, they are few. So let's go with the uncountable first. Uncountable, no contables.
no
Rice.
contables, rice, cereals,
Rice.
milk, yogurt,
noodles,
rice,
nuts,
Noodles,
oil,
beans,
mayonnaise,
milk,
mayonnaise,
cheese,
and
Sugar.
okay,
cream,
beans,
oil,
okay,
oil.
cheese,
oil,
mayonnaise,
and the butter.
butter,
The butter.
meat,
The butter, countable. Okay, what about the pasta?
no
Countable.
countable,
vegetable,
Countable.
Countable, that's correct. Now let's go with contables. What are contables?
Orange.
Countable.
broccoli,
apples,
Onions.
Onions,
apple,
okay,
Lemon.
Potatoes,
bananas,
tomato,
carrots,
banana,
okay,
potatoes,
carrots,
eggs,
potatoes,
potatoes,
eggs.
kiwis,
kiwis,
Potato.
Okay,
chicken, beef,
what about the beef? Is countable?
not
Uncountable.
countable,
Countable.
Uncountable.
Now the chicken, countable or not countable?
countable,
Uncountable.
countable,
Countable.
Uncountable.
The fish, countable or not countable?
countable.
contables.
Countable. So that's correct. So are we clear with countable and uncountable food, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
okay. Good call. Let's move on to the next page. And right now we are going to the pronunciation of some words. So please pay attention to the pronunciation of the words. Let me go over here.
Page 60. Exercise 4. Pronunciation. Sentence stress. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice the stressed words.
Do we need any beans?
Yes, we need some beans.
Do we need any rice?
No, we don't need any rice.
Okay, let's go one more time with the audio.
Page 60. Exercise 4. Pronunciation. Sentence stress. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice the stressed words.
Do we need any beans?
Yes, we need some beans.
Do we need any rice?
No, we don't need any rice.
Okay, let's go with this. Everybody repeat, please. Do we need any beans?
Do we need
We
Need
need
any
any
beans?
Yes, we need some beans.
Yes, we
yes,
need
we need
some
some
beans.
beans.
Do we need any rice?
Do
We
we
need any rice?
rice,
No, we don't need any rice.
No,
No,
we
we
don't
don't
need
need
any
any
rice.
rice.
rice,
So right now, what are we going to do? We are going to look at the picture and we are going to ask questions like, do we need any apples, guys?
Yes,
Yes, we need
we
some
need
we need
apples.
some apples.
That's
apples.
correct. Now, what are you going to do? You are going to, sorry, let me react to the message over here. We are going to ask questions. So you are going to prepare similar questions to the previous exercise. And let me share over here. Do we need any rice? No, we don't need any rice. Do we need some apples? Yes, we need some apples. So you are going to ask questions in order to complete the list over there. Let's go to the breakout rooms and prepare the questions with your classes, please. Let's go to the breakout rooms.
okay.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for practicing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate a lot. And let me start asking you, Sandra Carolina, help me with the question to Carlos Mauricio, please.
Carlos Mauricio, do we need any apples?
No, I don't. I don't some apples.
I don't need some apples.
Need some apples. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Carlos, come with the question to Elida Hernandez, please.
Do you need any rice?
No, I don't need any rice.
Thank you, Elida. Come with the question to Mirna Vanessa.
Mirna Vanessa, do you need any onions?
Yes, we need any onions.
Some onions.
Some onions.
Some onions.
Thank
Teacher,
you. Mirna.
una consulta rapidita, teacher.
Sure.
Any, entiendo que es para referirnos a algo incontable y some, algo contable.
No, remember the
Oh.
last class I told you. Some is for affirmative sentences and question. Any is for negative sentences, question. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it is countable or uncountable. The thing is that you use it in positive and negative. That's the main purpose.
Ok. Sí, es que eso lo teníamos. Gracias, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Don't worry. We're not going with the question to Douglas, please.
Ok. ¿A quién le pregunto?
Douglas.
Hello, Douglas. Do you need any... quiero ver. ¿Banana?
Yes, we need.
Okay, we need some bananas.
Yes, we need some bananas.
Thank you, Douglas. Can I with the question to Gladys Margarita?
Gladys Margarita, do we need any tomato?
Yes, I need some tomatoes.
Thank you, Gladys. Come with the question to Georgina Eugenia.
Georgina, do you need some apples?
Yes. We need some.
No,
Some, Thank you. Georgina, come with the question to Amber, please.
Okay. Amber, do you need any tomatoes?
Yes, we need some tomatoes.
Okay.
Thank you. Amber, come with the question to Norbia Ruth.
Norbia, do we need any potatoes?
Yes, we need some potatoes.
Thank you, Norbia. Come with the question to Enrique Edgardo.
Okay, Enrique Ricardo, do we need any potatoes?
Yes, we need some potatoes.
Thank you. Now come with the question, Enrique, to Silvia Noemi, please.
Okay, Sylvia, do you need any blueberries?
No, we don't need any blueberries.
Silvia, come with the question to Esa Wilfredo, please.
Esau, do we need any celery?
Yes, we need some celery.
Thank you. Esau, come with the question to, let me see, Kaylee Stephanie.
Kaylee, do we need any potatoes?
Yes, we need some potatoes.
Okay, thanks.
Kaylee, help me with the question to Mirna Calderon.
Mirna Calderon, do we need any lemons?
Yes, we need some lemon.
Mirna, help me with the question to Ana Cecilia.
Ana Cecilia, do we need any any potato?
Thank you.
Yes, 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 we need some potatoes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Ana,
Give me the question.
Sandra Juliet.
Sandra Juliet, do you need any broccoli?
Thank you.
Yes, we need some broccoli.
Thank you. Sandra, help me with the question to Rosa Idalia.
Rosa, do we need any orange?
Yes, we need some orange.
Thank you. Rosa, help me with the question to Pamela Jasmine.
Okay. Pamela, do you need any broccoli?
No, we don't need any broccoli.
Thank you. Pamela, help me with the question to, let me go with Fatima Lucia.
Fatima, do we need any potatoes?
Yes, I need some potatoes.
Thank you. Good job over there. Now, thank you guys for asking the questions about do we need, and you are doing amazing over there. So let's go with the listening part over here. Pay attention to the breakfast around the world. So let me play the listening over here.
Page 60. Exercise 5. Snapshot. Listen and practice. Breakfast around the world. The United States.
Milk. Fresh fruit. Orange juice. Coffee. Pastries.
Japan. Fish. Rice. Soup. Pickles. Green tea. Costa Rica.
Rice and beans. Eggs. Red peppers. Bananas. Coffee with milk.
And let me play it one more time, the audio.
Page 60. Exercise 5. Snapshot. Listen and practice. Breakfast around the world. The United States.
Cereal with milk. Fresh fruit. Orange juice. Coffee. Pastries.
Japan. Fish. Rice. Soup. Pickles. Green tea. Costa Rica.
Rice and beans. Eggs. Red peppers. Bananas. Coffee with milk.
Page 60. Exercise 5. Snapshot. Listen and practice. Breakfast around the world. The United States.
Cereal with milk. Fresh fruit. Orange juice. Coffee. Pastries.
Japan. Fish. Rice. Soup. Pickles. Green tea. Costa Rica.
Rice and beans. Eggs. Red peppers. Bananas. Coffee with milk.
And let's go with this. Everybody repeat after me, please. Cereal with milk.
Cereal
with milk.
Fresh fruit.
Fresh
fruit.
Orange juice.
Orange juice.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Pastries.
Pastries.
Fish.
Fish.
Rice.
Rice.
Soup.
Soup.
Pickles.
Pickles.
Tea.
Green tea.
Rice and beans.
Rice and beans.
Eggs. Red peppers.
Red
peppers.
Bananas.
Bananas.
And coffee with milk.
Coffee with milk.
Now, let me go with this and let me ask you, do you have any question about the vocabulary?
How do you have for breakfast?
Questions about the vocabulary? No?
No, teacher.
Any questions over there? No? Okay, cool. Let me put it on mute over there because to my knowledge. Now, no questions, no doubts?
No.
No? Okay, cool.
Pastries.
You are
What's
going to
mean
ask-
pastry?
Pastries means all the things that you can buy in a bakery, like bread, a cake. Over here in El Salvador, a pastry can be like el bambán.
Oh, well, dessert. What? Dessert.
Yes, desserts. Like
dessert.
the tecleña, like what is it? Anthony's, I think is the name of that place. So all those places, Mr.
Bambán.
John, as
Bon
well,
bon.
in which you can
Bambán.
buy a lot of, breads or desserts over there. That's pastries. Any other question?
Pickles.
Okay.
Pickles is super easy. When you have a hamburger, inside of the hamburger, you have some little green piece of something that you call in Spanish.
Pepinillo.
Okay.
That's pickles. No?
Okay. Thank
I don't need any pickles.
Delicious.
Oh.
Yes, they are good. Now, in this case, if you don't have more questions or doubts, you are going to tell me, what do you have for breakfast? Tell me, what do you usually eat? For example, in my personal case, and I will be honest with you, I don't have breakfast. I don't eat breakfast because I prefer to eat only the lunch and the dinner, but that's my personal case. But you tell me, do you eat breakfast and what do you have for breakfast over there? So tell me, what do you eat? Let's get
Bad.
practice over there and tell me, what do you eat? Please. Let's go to the breakup rooms. Why not? Eat for breakfast. Okay, guys, thank you so much for practicing and discussing about what do you have for breakfast. So let me go with this. Edith, Gabriela, tell me, what do you have for breakfast?
I eat breakfast, cereal with milk, and sometimes I drink oatmeal with milk.
That's cool. Thank you. What about you, Sandra Carolina? What do you have for breakfast?
I have for breakfast coffee, pastries, bread, cheese, egg, or cereal with milk.
Really interesting. Thank you so much. What about you? Tell me, Carlos Mauricio, what do you have for breakfast?
I have for breakfast egg with ham, beans, cream, fried bananas, and bread.
Cool. What about you? What do you have for breakfast? Elida, are you there?
I'm sorry. I eat breakfast, eggs, beans, cream, avocado with coffee with milk.
Okay, cool. What about you, Norbia Ruth? What do you have for breakfast?
Okay. Fruits, beets, wheat grain, banana, and coffee, and fresh breads.
Cool. Thank you. What about you, Ana Cecilia? What do you have for breakfast?
My breakfast is cereal with milk, eggs, coffee with milk, or pupusas with coffee, or some pancakes, fruits, and
That's good. Super delicious. Thank you so much. What about you? Tell me, what do you have for breakfast? My next volunteer, Edith Gabriela.
I eat breakfast cereal with milk, and sometimes I drink oatmeal with milk.
That's cool. What about you, Mirna Vanessa? What do you have for breakfast?
Okay, my breakfast is yogurt, banana, papaya, cereal, and coffee.
Okay.
Perfect. What about
She's a
you,
fitness
L'Oreal? What do you
girl.
have for breakfast? Yes. You are on mute. Microphone. I'm so sorry. Yes.
I eat breakfast, beans, eggs, meal with coffee, ham.
Oh. Thank you. What about you, Gladys Margarita? What do you have for breakfast?
My breakfast is eggs, rice and beans, one cup coffee, pupusas. Only. I don't fitness.
You are not fitness. Okay, I am not fitness.
Is beans, eggs, banana, tortilla, cheese, coffee, and milk.
Cool. Thank you. What about you, Wilfredo? What do you have for breakfast?
Beans, egg, cream, sometimes tamales or pupusas. Eso. Oh.
Thank you. What about you, Sandra Juliet? What do you have for breakfast?
I eat eggs, bread, cheese, and coffee.
Thank you. What about you? Tell me, what do you have for breakfast, Enrique Edgardo?
I have breakfast and beans, cream, and coffee, and sometimes Maruchan with coffee. Maruchan.
That's interesting.
Two Maruchan.
Breakfast.
Very delicious.
Really, really.
Interesting.
God.
Now let's go
Maruchan
with
loca.
Right now.
And one coca.
Uf,
class.
divítame.
Horchata.
Glass, are you there? Douglas, you are
Sorry.
on mute.
Sorry.
Yes, tell me.
My breakfast is cereal with milk, coffee, pastries.
Pastries. Okay, let me go with Mirda Calderon. Tell me, what do you have for breakfast?
My breakfast is beans, cream, banana, bread, eggs, coffee.
Okay, thank you. What about you? Tell me, what do you have for breakfast, please? Pamela Jasmine.
I usually eat cereal with milk or beans, eggs, cream, and bread. But the Maruchan, it's a good idea for the next time.
Cool. Thank you. What about you,
Maruchan with
Rosalia? What do you
raptor.
have for breakfast? No, there. Okay, Fatima, tell me, what do you have for breakfast?
I usually eat breakfast smoothie, banana, cinnamon, oatmeal, and with milk.
Well, thank you. Now, thank you guys for answering. Thank you so much for sharing your answers, and thank you so much for discussing what do you have for breakfast. Now, let me ask you, what do you prefer? Having pupusas, cereal, or beans with eggs?
Pupusas.
Having pupusas.
Pupusa.
Pupusas, okay, cool.
Pupusa.
Pupusas, okay, cool. So you are Salvadorian over there. Now let's get to the conversation over here and pay attention to the conversation, please. And it says, we always have green tea. Maybe they are Chinese or Japanese. So let me go with this.
Page 61. Exercise 6. Conversation. We always have green tea. Listen and practice.
What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese-style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Okay, let me play the conversation one more time.
Page 61. Exercise 6. Conversation. We always have green tea. Listen and practice.
What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese-style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Okay, and let me play it one more time.
Page 61. Exercise 6. Conversation. We always have green tea. Listen and practice.
What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice,
and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese-style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
That's very nice.
Okay, now everybody repeat after me. What's a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
What?
What is a
What
What
typical
is
Japanese
a
breakfast?
Japanese breakfast kind?
Kaito.
Kaito.
Usually catfish, rice, and soup.
Well,
Well,
We have
Usually
usually
have
Usually
fish,
have
rice, and
fish,
soup.
rice
rice.
and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
fish
fish
for
for
breakfast.
For
breakfast.
breakfast,
Interesting.
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 Thing.
No, interesting, no. Interesting.
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 Wow. Yeah. Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
It's
really
really
good.
good.
Sometimes we have a
We have
salad,
a salad,
we never
Salad
have
but
too.
coffee.
never
but
have
we never
coffee.
have
Never have
coffee.
coffee.
Really? What do you have?
Really? What do you have?
What do you have?
Have.
We always
We
have
always,
green tea.
we
We always
always
have
have
Always
green
green
have
tea.
tea.
Have
green tea.
green tea.
I love green tea.
I
I love
love
green
Green
tea.
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 I love green
And
tea.
my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekends.
Listen, my
My family
family
usually
usually has a Japanese
Japanese
style
style
breakfast
breakfast
Tea
on
on
breakfast.
weekends.
weekends.
Breakfast on
Why
Weekends.
don't
weekends.
you come to my house on
Why
Sunday?
don't you come to my house on Sunday?
Why don't you
Why
come
don't you
to my
come
house on
To
Sunday?
my
to my
house
house
on Sunday.
Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
That's
That's
It's
very
very
nice
nice
of
of
Very
nice
nice
you.
of
Thanks.
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
So right now, what are we going to do? We are going to practice the pronunciation of the conversation. So let me share with you. Everybody look at the camera. We take the picture for the attendance. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you. Let me share with you the picture. Okay, there you have. So right now, let's go to the breakout rooms. Please practice over there and tell me, please, the pronunciation of this conversation with your classmates. Go. Okay, guys, thank you so much for practicing. Thank you so much for getting ready, and thank you so much for being here. Now let's start with Saul Wilfredo, help me with Eva, and Carlos Mauricio, help me with Kaito.
Okay. Uh, what is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast. That interesting. Interesting. Sorry.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's a very nice of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's go with Sandra Carolina, help me with Eva, and Elida, help me with Kaito.
What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast. That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually have Japanese style breakfast on weekend. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's go with Mirna Vanessa, help me with Eva, and Kelly Stephanie, help me with Kaito, please.
Okay. What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's continue, Sandra, Juliet, Eva, and Georgina, Kenya, help me with Kaito.
What what is what is typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it is really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekend. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Gladys Margarita, help me with Eva, Douglas, help me with Kaito.
Okay. What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We all have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Let me go with Norbia Ruth, help me with Eva, and Edith Gabriela, help me with Kaito.
Okay. What is a tropical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Where we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Uh, Fish for breakfast. What's interim?
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really, what do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
What's very nice of you, thanks.
Thank you, Enrique, help me with Eva, Ana Cecilia, help me with Kaito.
Okay. What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. Now let me go with Amber, help me with Eva, and Silvia Noemi, help me with Kaito.
What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Now let's go with Gloribel, help me with Eva, and Rosivalia, help me with Kaito.
What is a tropical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Rosivalia, check the audio, please, because I cannot hear you.
Okay, listen.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, sorry. Um, well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? Was interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sundays?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Corina Lemus, help me with Eva, please. Carla Janet Hernandez, help me with Kaito.
What is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
We ¿cómo es? We usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? That's interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but,
But we
but
never.
we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
This in my family usually as happiness stay breakfast on weekends. We do you come to my house or to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Fatima Lucia, coming with Eva. Pamela Jasmine, coming with Kaito. Fatima, 5, 4, 3, 2. No,
Hi.
Fatima. Tell me.
Eva, what is a typical Japanese breakfast, Kaito?
Well, we usually have fish, rice, and soup.
Fish for breakfast? They're interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Sometimes we have a salad too, but we never have coffee.
Really? What do you have?
We always have green tea.
I love green tea.
Listen, my family usually has a Japanese style breakfast on weekends. Why don't you come to my house on Sunday?
That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Good job over there. Thank you guys for practicing. And now we are going to talk about frequency adverbs. Now pay attention over here, guys. Let me talk about the frequency adverbs.
Page 61. Exercise 7. Grammar focus. Adverbs of frequency.
I always eat breakfast.
I usually eat breakfast.
I often eat breakfast.
I sometimes eat breakfast.
I hardly ever eat breakfast.
I never eat breakfast.
Sometimes I eat breakfast.
Do you ever have fish for breakfast?
Yes, I always do.
Sometimes I do.
No, I never do.
Always. Usually. Often. Sometimes. Hardly ever. Never.
Okay, let me play the audio one more time.
Page 61. Exercise 7. Grammar focus. Adverbs of frequency.
I always eat breakfast.
I usually eat breakfast.
I often eat breakfast.
I sometimes eat breakfast.
I hardly ever eat breakfast.
I never eat breakfast.
Sometimes I eat breakfast.
Do you ever have fish for breakfast?
Yes, I always do.
Sometimes I do.
No, I never do.
Always. Usually. Often. Sometimes. Hardly ever. Never.
Okay, talking about the frequency adverbs, guys, is something super easy, super common, and super popular to use. When we are talking about the frequency adverbs, we need to talk about the simple present always. So first, remember that we need the subject over here, we need the verb, and we need the complement. That's the structure of the simple present. For example, I eat breakfast. She eats breakfast. So, and that's the simple present. Activities that you repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat every single day. But we have something that we call frequency adverbs. Frequency adverbs. The frequency adverbs, guys, will tell you how often do you do something. So in this case, we need the subject plus the frequency adverb plus the verb plus the complement. For example, I always speak English. So I always speak English. That's my sentence. I always speak English. I usually do my homework. I often go to the park. I sometimes watch a movie. I hardly ever speak Spanish. And I never, for example, I never talk to strangers. So I never talk to strangers. So when we are talking about the frequency adverbs, you always, we have usually, we have often, we have sometimes. We have over here hardly ever. And we have never. So let me ask you, what is the meaning of always?
Siempre.
What is the meaning of
Siempre.
always? Yes.
Siempre.
What is the meaning of usually?
Usualmente.
Okay, what is the meaning of often?
De vez en cuando.
Okay. Tell me, what is the meaning of sometimes?
Alguna vez.
A veces.
Okay. Now tell me, what is the meaning of hardly ever?
Casi nunca.
Casi nunca.
Difícilmente también.
Raramente, yes, it can be like that. Now let's go with never.
Nunca.
So those are the frequency adverbs that we have in English. So you can use it in over there. And let me ask you, do you have any question, any doubt about the grammar?
Teacher,
No?
rarely.
Rarely?
Rarely.
Yes. Rarely is similar to hardly ever. They are synonyms. They are synonyms. So you can use hardly ever or you can use rarely, but both are the same.
Okay.
Any other question?
No.
No? Okay, cool. If we don't have questions, let's go to practice. Now, in the first exercise, guys, you are going to put the adverbs in the correct place. For example, do you have a big breakfast? And we're going to use the adverb usually. What is the correct use? Do you usually have breakfast? And that will be the correct sentence. Then you are going to unscramble the sentence. I have the elements. I have hardly ever beef and for lunch.
For lunch.
Correct sentence. I hardly ever have beef for lunch. And that's the sentence. So you are going to use the correct frequency adverb to fix the sentences over there. So let's go to the breakup rooms, write the correct sentence in your notebook using the frequency adverbs. Let's go to the breakup rooms right now. Okay, guys, we are going to check your answers. We are going to check your sentences, and let's just start over here. Now, do you usually have a big breakfast over there? Continue. Well,
Well, on Sunday, I have a big breakfast with my friends. I
and what
always
is
have a
the
big breakfast with
frequency?
my
Yes,
friends.
perfect. Continue. Do you?
Do you eat
Breakfast
breakfast at
at work.
work on weekends? Do you
Ever
ever
eat
eat breakfast at
breakfast
work
at
on
work on
That's
weekdays?
weekdays?
correct.
Yes,
Yes.
I
I
have
have
breakfast at the office restaurant.
sometimes breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you?
Do,
Do you
do you
often eat
often
breakfast
eat
at your
breakfast?
desk?
No.
No,
No,
I
I
hardly
hardly
ever eat
ever eat
breakfast at my
breakfast at
desk.
my desk.
Thank you so much. Now, let's continue with the unscrambled sentences. Number 2.
I hardly ever have. Number 2.
I
Yes.
never
I
eat
never
snacks
I
eat
never
when I
snacks.
watch
eat
TV.
snacks when I watch TV.
I never eat the snacks when I watch TV. Number 3.
I sometimes
Never eat
eat eggs
for
for
breakfast.
breakfast.
Yes. And the last one?
I
I
usually have dinner
usually
with my
have dinner with
family.
my family.
That's correct. So right now we're going to play a conversation over here. So Amber, you're going to be letter A. Carlos Mauricio, you're going to be letter B.
Okay. Do you usually have a big breakfast?
Well, on Sunday, I always have a big breakfast with my friends.
Do you ever eat breakfast at work on weekdays?
Yes, I
Have breakfast.
sorry. Yes, I sometimes have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I hardly ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Perfect. Thank you so much. David Hernandez, letter A. Gladys Margarita, letter B.
Okay.
Do you... Ay, espérame.
Usually?
Letter 8.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you usually
Have a big
I
breakfast.
have a big breakfast?
Well, on Sunday, I always have a big breakfast with my friend.
You're on mute, Elida.
Sorry. Do you never eat breakfast at work or on weekends?
Yes, I sometimes have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I hardly ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Georgina, you are going to be letter A, and what letter B? Sandra Carolina.
Do you usually have a big breakfast?
Well, on Sunday, I always have a big breakfast with my friends.
Do you ever eat breakfast at work on weekdays?
Yes, I sometimes have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I hardly ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Cool, thank you. What about you, Mirna Vanessa? Letter A, Sandra Juliet, letter B.
Okay. Do you usually have a big breakfast?
Well, always on Sunday I have a big breakfast with my friends.
Do you sometimes eat breakfast at work on weekend
Ye-
days?
Yes, I sometimes have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I hardly ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Well, thank you. Good job. Let me go with you, class. Letter A and Sylvia Noemi, letter B.
Do you usually have a big breakfast?
Well, on Sunday, I always have a big breakfast with my friends.
Do you ever eat breakfast and work on Wednesday?
Yes, I sometimes have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often eat breakfast and your desk?
No,
Estoy
I
ocupando yo una. Bueno,
hardly
ya ves.
ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Thank you so much. Let's continue. Gabriela Cortez, Kian with letter A and Kian with letter B, Glory Bell.
Do you usually have a big breakfast?
Well, on Sunday, on Sunday, always I have a big breakfast with my friend.
Do,
do.
do you
Yes,
ever eat breakfast at work on weekends?
Yes, I had sometimes breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I eat breakfast either at my desk.
well, thank you. I hardly ever eat breakfast, remember. Now, Cecilia, Kian with letter A and Rosidalia, letter B.
Do you usually have a big breakfast?
I will. On Sunday, always I have a big breakfast with my friends.
Do you ever eat breakfast at work on weekends? Weekdays?
Yes, sometimes I have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I hardly ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Thank you. Mirna Calderon, Kian with letter A and Kian with letter B, Enrique Edgardo.
Little A.
Do you, I am letter A.
Yes.
Do you usually have a big breakfast?
Well, on Sunday, I always have a big breakfast with my friends.
Do you ever eat breakfast at work on weekday?
Yes, I sometimes have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I hardly ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Thank you. Let's go with Pamela Jasmine, Kian with letter A, Saúl Wilfredo, letter B.
Do you usually have a big breakfast?
Well, on Sunday, I always have a big breakfast with my friend.
Do you ever eat breakfast at work on weekends?
Yes, I sometimes have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I hardly ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Thank you. Carla Jeanette, come with letter A. Fatima Lucia, letter B.
Do you usually have a big breakfast?
Well, on Sunday, I always have a big breakfast with my friends.
Do you do you ever eat breakfast at work on weekday?
Yes, I sometimes have breakfast at the office restaurant.
Do you often eat breakfast at your desk?
No, I hardly ever eat breakfast at my desk.
Okay, thank you. Now let me go with this. Thank you so much for your time and thank you so much for discussing over there, guys. Now, before we continue with the next activity, we are going to take the attendance for today's class. Give me 1 second so we can take the attendance over here. Let me see. Here it is. Okay, let's start. Alan not here. Ambar Fabiola. Yes.
Present.
Ana Cecilia.
Present, teacher.
Ana Ruth. No, Ana Ruth. Right. Carlos Mauricio. Yes.
Present.
Corina Marisol. Yes. Douglas Romeo. Yes.
Present.
Edith Gabriela.
Present.
Thank you. Enrique Edgardo.
Present.
Esau Wilfredo.
Present.
Fátima Lucía.
Present.
Georgina Eugenia.
Present.
Gladys Margarita. Gloribel Rosemary.
Present, present,
Hazel
present.
Aiden, not today. Jacqueline Lisette, no today.
Ever eat.
Jose Arturo, no today. Carla Janet, yes. Kaylee, yes. Marta Elena, no today. Marvin Alejandro, no today. Mirna Raquel, yes. Mirna Vanessa, yes. Norbia Ruth, yes. Pamela Jasmine, yes.
Present.
Give me 1 second that I cannot see the rest. Okay, let's continue. Rosa Idalia, yes. Roxana Beatriz, no today. Sandra Carolina,
Here.
thank you. Sandra Juliet,
Present.
thank you. Tania Vanessa, no today. Santos Elida,
I'm here.
Silvia Noemi,
Present.
and Fernando Edgardo, no today. Okay, cool job over there. Now, thank you guys for connecting. Thank you so much for making the effort and thank you so much for being here. Now, let's continue with this. Now, let me go with this. And I will say, over here, I usually have beef or chicken for lunch. What about you? We are going to rewrite these sentences over here, but you are going to take your own information. For example, I hardly ever have let me chow mein for lunch. I will say I hardly ever have chow mein for lunch. Another example. I never eat popcorn at the cinema. I never eat popcorn at the cinema. I sometimes have pupusas for breakfast and I usually have dinner with my family because I am working. So I would say I usually, sometimes, moreover, hardly ever, rarely. So in that case, you're going to change the information or the sentences with your own sentences. Now let's go with Amber. Amber, tell me sentence number 1. I hardly ever.
I hardly ever have chicken for my lunch.
Thank you. What about you, Esau? Never.
I
Esau,
never, okay, present. I never eat beans soup for breakfast.
thank you. What about you, Ana Cecilia? Sometimes.
I'm sometimes eat eggs for the dinner.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Elida? Usually.
Sorry. Usually,
Yes.
I usually have lunch with my family.
Thank you, Sandra Carolina. Hardly ever.
I hardly ever have fruit for breakfast.
Thank you, Mirna. Never. Mirna Vanessa.
I never have fish.
Okay, thank you. Douglas, sometimes.
Sometimes. I sometimes and sometimes fried breadfruit.
Okay, thank you. Sylvia Noemi, tell me, usually.
I usually breakfast at 8 a.m.
Thank you. I usually have breakfast at 8 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go with Rosa Idalia. Usually. Idalia.
One moment. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Usually it's chicken for lunch.
Thank you. Mirna Calderon, hardly ever.
I hardly ever eat a snack.
Thank you. Gladys Margarita, never.
I never drink cooked milk of breakfast.
Thank you. And the last one, but not least, Carlos Mauricio, tell me, sometimes.
I sometimes drink coffee.
Thank you, appreciate. Now, guys, this is all for today's class. Thank you so much for connecting and making the effort. Don't forget that the next week is the last week of the level, so please remember to do your homework. It's important that you finish your homework over there so I can grade you and I can give you your grades over there. So please have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Teacher,
Bye.
teacher, una
Bye.
pregunta.
Tell me. Sure, tell me.
Para el trabajo de las clases, yo no he podido entrar.
Ahí está en WhatsApp las indicaciones, ahí está el código y ahí está el link que le va a llevar a las clases de Classroom. Ya le voy a volver a enviar el mensaje para que se vaya el link y ahí se pueda suscribir.
Gracias,
Thank
teacher.
you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, good
evening.
night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
God
Bye.
bless you. God bless you.
God bless you. Bye-bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much.